Our planet, a vibrant sphere of life, hangs in the blackness of space, a delicate blue marble teeming with diverse ecosystems, from lush rainforests to icy polar landscapes. Yet this jewel, our only home, is changing at an alarming rate. The culprit? Climate change, a threat unlike any other. We see the consequences unfolding before our very eyes. Glaciers, once mighty rivers of ice, are receding at unprecedented rates. Coral reefs, the vibrant cities of the ocean, are bleaching and dying. Extreme weather events, once rare occurrences, are becoming increasingly common. These are not isolated incidents. They are interconnected symptoms of a planet in distress. The Earth's climate has always fluctuated, but never at this pace. The delicate balance that has sustained life for millennia is being disrupted. The very fabric of our planet's life support system is under threat. We are at a crossroads, and the choices we make today will determine the fate of generations to come. The time for denial is over. The time for action is now. We must face this challenge head-on, for the sake of our planet and for the future of humanity. Since the Industrial Revolution, our reliance on fossil fuels has grown exponentially. Coal, oil, and gas have powered our industries, fueled our vehicles, and lit our homes. However, this progress has come at a steep price. The burning of these fossil fuels releases greenhouse gases, primarily carbon dioxide, into the atmosphere. These gases act like a blanket around the Earth, trapping heat and causing the planet to warm. This warming effect, known as the greenhouse effect, is the driving force behind climate change. As we continue to pump more and more greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, the Earth's temperature continues to rise. The evidence is irrefutable. Global temperatures have risen by an average of 1 degree Celsius since the late 19th century. This may seem like a small amount, but it has already had a profound impact on our planet. The consequences of our actions are becoming increasingly clear, from melting glaciers and rising sea levels to more frequent and intense heat waves and droughts. The science is unambiguous. Climate change is real. It is happening now, and it is primarily caused by human activities. The longer we wait to take action, the more severe the consequences will be. Gap 3S. The human and animal toll of climate change is staggering. According to recent reports, over 150,000 people die annually due to climate-related issues. These deaths are the result of a combination of heat waves, severe weather events, and the spread of diseases. The numbers are not just statistics. They represent mothers, fathers, children, and communities torn apart by the invisible hand of climate change. But the impact doesn't stop with humans. Our animal counterparts are suffering in silence. Countless species face extinction, with some estimates suggesting that up to 1 million species are at risk. The habitats they rely on are disappearing, and the delicate balance of ecosystems is being irreversibly altered. These numbers are backed by credible news sources and scientific studies, painting a dire picture of a world in distress. The lives lost and the species endangered are a wake-up call, a stark reminder of the urgency with which we must act. The toll on life, both human and animal, is a testament to the far-reaching consequences of our actions. It is a call to rethink, to reconsider, and to change the course of our future before it's too late. The impacts of climate change are far-reaching and devastating. Rising temperatures are causing glaciers and ice sheets to melt at alarming rates, contributing to rising sea levels. Coastal communities and island nations are facing an existential threat as their homes are swallowed by the encroaching sea. Extreme weather events are becoming more frequent and intense. Heat waves are lasting longer and becoming more severe, posing significant risks to human health. Droughts are becoming more prolonged and widespread, leading to crop failures, water shortages, and devastating wildfires. The delicate balance of ecosystems is being disrupted. Coral reefs, home to a quarter of all marine life, are bleaching and dying as ocean temperatures rise. Plant and animal species are struggling to adapt to the rapidly changing climate, leading to shifts in migration patterns and increased risk of extinction. Climate change is not a distant threat. It is a clear and present danger. We are already witnessing its devastating impacts around the world, and the situation will only worsen if we fail to act.
Check, check. Check 1, check 2, check, check.
Section 4,
Check,
a shared
check,
responsibility,
check 1, check 2,
an uneven burden.
check.
While climate change is a global crisis, the responsibility for addressing it is not shared equally. Developed nations, with their historical and current levels of greenhouse gas emissions, bear a greater responsibility for causing the problem. Developing nations, often on the front lines of climate impacts, have contributed far less to the problem but are disproportionately affected by its consequences. It is essential to recognize the historical injustices embedded in this crisis. Developed nations have a moral obligation to provide financial and technological assistance to developing nations to help them transition to cleaner energy sources and adapt to the impacts of climate change. Addressing climate change requires a global effort, one that prioritizes equity and justice. We must work together, across borders and income levels, to create a more sustainable and equitable future for all. Section 5. The 1.5 degrees Celsius threshold, a race against time. The Paris Agreement, adopted by nearly 200 countries in 2015, aims to limit global warming to well below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, preferably to 1.5 degrees Celsius. This target is not arbitrary, it is based on the latest scientific evidence, which shows that exceeding this threshold would lead to catastrophic and irreversible consequences. We are currently on track for a warming of over 3 degrees Celsius by the end of the century, far exceeding the Paris Agreement targets. This level of warming would have devastating consequences, including more frequent and intense heat waves, droughts, floods, and sea level rise. It would also push many ecosystems beyond their ability to adapt, leading to widespread biodiversity loss and ecosystem collapse. The window of opportunity to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius is rapidly closing. We must act now, with urgency and ambition, to avert the worst impacts of climate change. Section 6. Charting a new course. Solutions for a sustainable future. Addressing climate change requires a fundamental shift in our energy systems, our economies, and our lifestyles. We must transition away from fossil fuels and embrace cleaner, more sustainable energy sources. Renewable energy technologies such as solar, wind, and geothermal offer viable alternatives that can power our world without polluting our planet. Investing in energy efficiency is crucial. By reducing our energy consumption, we can lower our greenhouse gas emissions and save money. This includes improving building insulation, developing more fuel-efficient vehicles, and adopting more sustainable practices in our homes and workplaces. Protecting and restoring our forests is essential. Trees act as carbon sinks, absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Reforestation efforts, along with sustainable forest management practices, can play a significant role in mitigating climate change. Global cooperation is paramount. Climate change knows no borders, and addressing it requires a collective effort. International agreements, such as the Paris Agreement, provide a framework for cooperation and action. However, we need stronger commitments and faster implementation to achieve the goals we have set. Section 7. Our legacy, our choice, a call to action. We stand at a pivotal moment in human history. The choices we make today will determine the fate of our planet and the well-being of generations to come. We can choose to continue down a path of inaction and face the catastrophic consequences of unchecked climate change. Or we can choose a different path, a path of sustainability, resilience, and hope. Each and every one of us has a role to play in this fight. We can make more sustainable choices in our daily lives, from the food we eat to the way we travel. We can support businesses and organizations that are committed to sustainability. We can use our voices to demand action from our leaders. This is not a time for despair. It is a time for action. Let us embrace the challenge before us with courage, determination, and a shared commitment to creating a better future for all. Let us be the generation that turned the tide on climate change and secured a habitable planet for generations to come. The legacy we leave behind is ours to decide.